The Bloch MB.174 was a marvel of its time, a reconnaissance aircraft that could outpace and outmaneuver the German fighters that ruled the skies in the early days of World War II. Designed by the brilliant engineer Henri Desplantes, this aircraft represented the pinnacle of French aviation technology in 1940. Yet, despite its advanced capabilities, it arrived too late and in too few numbers to turn the tide of the Battle of France. Today, it is perhaps best remembered as the aircraft flown by the famous author and pilot Antoine de Saint-Exupéry, who immortalized his experiences in his book Flight to Arras. It was so fast, it could deliver reconnaissance photos before the enemy even knew they were being watched. Talk about a quick getaway. To fully appreciate the story of the MB.174, we must journey back to the mid-1930s, when France was racing to modernize its air force in the face of a resurgent Germany. In 1936, Europe stood on the brink of conflict, and France was scrambling to counter Germany's rapid military buildup. The remilitarization of the Rhineland on March 7, 1936, sent shockwaves through the French military establishment, prompting a re-evaluation of its air capabilities. The French Air Ministry launched an ambitious modernization program known as Plan 2, aiming to deliver 1,500 new aircraft by 1939. Among the requirements was a versatile multi-role aircraft capable of light bombing, attack missions, and reconnaissance. This was the challenge taken up by the Société Nationale de Construction Aéronautique du Sud-Ouest, or SNCASO, which had recently absorbed the Bloch Aircraft Company, founded by Marcel Bloch, later known as Marcel Dassault. Henri Desplantes, a talented engineer with a knack for innovative design, led the SNCASO team tasked with creating this new aircraft. Desplantes had joined Bloch in 1930 after responding to a job advertisement in the aviation journal Les Ailes. His experience with earlier designs, like the MB-60 trimotor, prepared him for this critical project. The team's initial effort was the MB.170, a twin-engine, low-wing monoplane designed to meet the Air Ministry's specifications. The first prototype, MB.170-01, took flight on February 15, 1938, powered by two Gnome Rhone 14N-6/7 radial engines, each producing 950 horsepower. It featured a ventral cupola for defensive armament or reconnaissance equipment, but its design was not without flaws. Disaster struck in March 1938 during a test of the maximum forward center of gravity. Pilot Curvale, attempting to land at Villacoublay, couldn't prevent the aircraft from nosing over, plowing into the ground and sustaining significant damage. Curvale was seriously injured, and the incident highlighted issues with the aircraft's control surfaces. It seems even in times of war, engineering setbacks can ground progress faster than any enemy fighter. Undeterred, Desplantes' team pressed on, developing a second prototype, MB.170-02, which flew on July 30, 1938. This version eliminated the problematic ventral cupola, introduced a glazed nose for better observation, and enlarged the tail surfaces for stability. The MB.170-02 showed promise, reaching speeds of about 500 kilometers per hour, a remarkable feat for the time. However, the French Air Force demanded further refinements to tailor the aircraft for specific roles. After exploring variants like the MB.171, 172, and 173, the team finalized the MB.174, optimized for long-range reconnaissance with secondary bombing capabilities. The prototype MB.174-01 took to the skies on January 5, 1939, at Villacoublay, piloted by René Lebaille. Its performance was stellar, achieving a top speed of 530 kilometers per hour at 5,400 meters and a ceiling of 11,000 meters. Impressed, the Air Ministry ordered 50 MB.174A3 aircraft on February 1, 1939. Production began in November 1939 at SNCASO's Marignac plant, but delays plagued the process. Debates over the aircraft's role, whether it should prioritize bombing or reconnaissance, slowed progress, as did concerns about potential sabotage, which temporarily halted weapon installation in the factory. By March 1940, the first aircraft reached Group Day Reconnaissance 2/33, with deliveries to other units following in April. These delays meant that only a handful were operational when Germany launched its offensive in May 1940, a classic case of bureaucracy outpacing urgency. The Bloch MB.174 was a twin-engine, low-wing monoplane designed for a crew of 3. A pilot, a navigator bombardier, and a rear gunner. It measured 12.25 meters in length, with a wingspan of 17.92 meters and a height of 3.55 meters. Its wing area of 37.63 square meters resulted in a wing loading of about 188 kilograms per square meter at maximum takeoff weight. The aircraft's empty weight was 5,615 kilograms, with a maximum takeoff weight of 7,175 kilograms, allowing a useful load of roughly 1,560 kilograms for fuel, crew, and payload. Power came from 2 Gnome Rhone 14 and Dash 49 14-cylinder air-cooled radial engines, each delivering 1,035 horsepower. These radial engines, with cylinders arranged in a star pattern for efficient cooling, drove 3-bladed Hamilton standard propellers with variable pitch, enabling optimal performance across various altitudes. The MB.174 achieved a maximum speed of 530 kilometers per hour, or 329 miles per hour, at 5,400 meters, with a cruising speed of 460 kilometers per hour. It could reach a service ceiling of 11,000 meters and climb to 8,000 meters in about 15 minutes, making it ideal for high-altitude reconnaissance. A hunter for armament, the MB.174 was equipped like a flying fortress, bristling with 7.5mm MAC 1934 machine guns. 2 were fixed in the wings, each with 1,000 rounds, providing forward-firing capability. A dorsal turret housed 2 twin machine guns, and 3 more were mounted in a ventral position to fend off attacks from below. With 7 guns, it was like a flying porcupine, ready to prick any fighter that got too close. The aircraft could carry up to 400 kilograms of bombs in an internal bay, typically 8 50-kilogram bombs and 6 50-pound bombs under the wings for lighter missions. The MB.174's construction blended metal and wood for a balance of strength and weight. The fuselage was made of duralumin, a lightweight aluminum alloy, while the wings featured metal spars and wooden ribs covered with fabric. This hybrid design kept the aircraft agile while maintaining structural integrity. The high-mounted wing provided excellent stability and a spacious fuselage interior, ideal for the crew's equipment. Retractable landing gear, with main wheels tucking into the engine nacelles, reduced drag, enhancing the aircraft's sleek aerodynamic profile. The glazed nose offered the navigator an unobstructed view for observation and photography, critical for reconnaissance missions. Inside, the cockpit featured a stepped arrangement, with the pilot seated high for optimal visibility. The navigator bombardier occupied the nose, equipped with cameras and navigation tools, while the rear gunner managed the dorsal and ventral defenses. The aircraft included advanced navigation and communication systems, such as radio sets and oxygen systems for high-altitude operations above 8,000 meters. Its fuel tanks, housed in the wings, held about 1,500 liters, supporting a range of 1,650 kilometers, or 1,025 miles, perfect for deep penetration missions. Despite its strengths, the MB.174 had quirks. Some pilots noted it was underpowered when fully loaded, impacting low-altitude performance. The complex defensive armament required precise crew coordination, which could be challenging under pressure. Still, its high-altitude prowess made it a standout, often compared to the British Mosquito for its speed and agility, though its bomb bay was smaller, limiting it to 50-kilogram bombs. This constraint meant it couldn't significantly disrupt ground forces, but for reconnaissance, it was unmatched in 1940 France. When the MB.174 entered service in March 1940, it was assigned to strategic reconnaissance units, replacing the vulnerable Post-armistice 637. Its first operational mission, flown on March 29, 1940, was piloted by Captain Antoine de Saint-Exupéry of Groupe de Reconnaissance 2/33, based at Athie-sur-Layon. Saint-Exupéry, already famous for The Little Prince, flew over Arras, gathering intelligence that would inspire flight to Arras. Not only did he write about little princes, but he also flew big planes, capturing the essence of reconnaissance pilots' courage. His mission marked the aircraft's combat debut, proving its ability to evade German fighters like the Messerschmitt Bf-109. On May 19, 1940, an MB.174 from Group 1/52, piloted by Sergeant Chef Cugnot, faced a daunting challenge over Cambrai. Intercepted by 27 Bf-109s, the aircraft's gunners downed 2 enemy fighters, returning to base with 32 bullet holes, but no critical damage. This mission showcased the MB.174's resilience and the crew's skill, as they navigated a gauntlet of enemy fire to complete their task. Another notable mission occurred on May 23, 1940, when Saint-Exupéry, flying aircraft number 24 from Orly, observed German troop movements between Amiens and Arras. Escorted by 5 De Wuyten D-520 fighters, he faced intense opposition, with 2 escorts shot down. Yet his MB.174 returned safely, its speed and altitude thwarting pursuit. Saint-Exupéry's account in Flight to Arras vividly describes the tension of flying through enemy skies, a testament to the aircraft's capabilities. Not all missions ended successfully. On April 16, 1940, aircraft number 16 from Group 2/33 was intercepted by 2 Bf-109Es over the Rhine at 8,500 meters. Hit in the right engine, and with the left failing, the pilot attempted an emergency landing in Neufchâteau, Belgium. The aircraft caught fire, resulting in the loss of 2 crew members, a stark reminder of the risks reconnaissance pilots faced. By the armistice, on June 22, 1940, only 3 MB.174s were lost to enemy action, a remarkable record given the intensity of the Battle of France. However, the German advance overwhelmed French airfields, with many aircraft captured or destroyed on the ground. Of the 56 MB.174s and 25 MB.175s delivered, few remained operational by mid-1940. Now see, post-armistice, Vichy forces used surviving MB.174s for tasks like monitoring British naval movements at Gibraltar from North African bases. After Operation Torch, in November 1942, French forces in North Africa rejoined the Allies, employing MB.174s in the Battle of Tunisia in 1943. These missions targeted Axis positions, leveraging the aircraft's reconnaissance strengths despite the availability of newer Allied aircraft. After France's liberation, SNCASO resumed production of the MB.175, redesignated as the SO-175, for training and transport roles into the early 1950s. The French Navy developed the MB.175T, a torpedo bomber variant with updated avionics and radar, serving until 1960. These aircraft patrolled coastal waters, contributing to France's post-war naval strategy. The MB.174's operational history highlights its effectiveness in a niche role. Its ability to operate at high altitudes and speeds made it a difficult target, and its crew's bravery ensured critical intelligence reached French commanders. Though limited in number, the aircraft's performance left a lasting impression on those who flew it, cementing its place as a standout design of its era. The Bloch MB.174's legacy is one of unfulfilled potential and enduring influence. It was a pioneer in high-speed, high-altitude reconnaissance, setting a benchmark for future designs. Its operational experiences informed post-war French aviation, particularly in jet-powered reconnaissance aircraft. The MB.175T's service until 1960 underscores the design's adaptability, evolving from a wartime reconnaissance platform to a Cold War-era naval asset. Antoine de Saint-Exupéry's Flight to Arras ensures the MB.174's place in cultural history, offering a human perspective on its technological achievements. His vivid accounts of missions over enemy territory highlight the courage of reconnaissance pilots, making the aircraft a symbol of resilience. Sadly, no complete MB.174s survive today, but historical records, photographs, and scale models preserve its story, as seen in kits by Heller and others.